Poor baby.
Yeah.
We had a lot of conversations here about Ellie's thought process. The things she's not expressing, but she put the baby's life at risk right now, right? It's like, who knows what, and when she's in this fog of PTSD, what she could have done.
This is the moment for Ellie where
It's never going to get better.
it's not going to get better, and she's put her family in danger. So it's probably better to just go.
Well, Dina is also trying to sweep it under the rug, and this is what's going to happen in the next. He was like, let's just go back to bed. Everything's fine. If I could buy another week, maybe she'll get a little bit better.
Or even just the distance to speak. It's just like when somebody's really in the thick of like the panic and the fog of grief like that, it's like you do kind of need time in order for them to kind of continue to progress through the stages. But it's like Ellie is refusing to move through these stages. And so like I feel like when we were doing this, like the patience that I have with it was that it's like maybe she'll move to the next stage soon. Maybe we're getting there. Maybe that's what we're getting to.
I don't know if we ever talked about this, but we had a whole different version of this part of the game where it was Maria that showed up.
Yeah, but we felt it would be more intimate if it were seeing how broken Tommy was.
Well, it should be like feel more the guilt of like seeing the damage on Tommy and having Tommy been changed over this year since he got back to Jackson, of like the guy that wanted to protect Ellie and not go on this quest for revenge is now guilting her into it.
I like that you're coming in late and you're seeing that this man has been very broken, and we're getting a sliver of how the abuse he experienced and the things that he did in Seattle have irreparably damaged him. And he's standing right in front of Ellie, and Ellie is looking at how irreparably damaged this man is, and she's like, yep, let's do that to me too. I'm willing to see the ghost of my future. That's the fate I deserve.
Je suis désolée.
Non. On en a beaucoup discuté. C'est ce qu'on voulait tous les deux.
Well, the other thing we were talking about is the other big Ellie-Tommy scene is after Joel's death and how they can't look at each other. And then this happens again here. Once he asks her to go, she can't look at him.
I think it's a confrontation thing, or when I'm feeling anger, I get uncomfortable, like I don't want somebody to see it.
It's also the shame, right? Of the shame of,
Yeah.
I'm letting you down. I'm letting Joel down. I'm letting myself down.
Yeah.
D'après lui, c'était une armoire à glace. Elle voyageait avec un gosse qui avait des cicatrices sur les joues. Il m'a dit
I also think that there's something important in the scene for Dina, right? Because Dina has been such an amenable partner through so much of this game and their journey, and even when Ellie's off the deep end, Dina is a nurturing force. And here she's finally drawing the line. She's finally like, we're done with that. I'm speaking for Ellie now.
There's a line here, and you've crossed it.
And like the rage I felt too when he keeps going, I was like, it's
love it.
insidious. You know, it's like he came and brought the virus back into the house and now she's sick again.
Think of all the guilt he's carrying. He failed to save Joel. He failed to save Jesse. He failed to get Abby. He's fucked up. His marriage has fallen apart. All he has left now is this revenge. That's it.
Well, it also
Yeah.
it goes back again to that ego thing where it's like, you asked me to do this and I did it. I went to Seattle. Now I'm coming back for you to pay up, and you're going to be a little bitch about it?
Well,
Yeah.
and again, he's too blind to see the suffering that she's going through. All he could see is like
She looks great.
how damaged he is. What does he say? Like, oh, you live out here, and like, and you got your family, and everything's cushy, and everything's fine, and I'm the one suffering. But he doesn't see that he's not the only one suffering.
And I love that Jeffrey, when Dina walks over and Ellie's sitting there at the table, and Jeffrey is not even acknowledging Dina.
In a way, Tommy might feel like, I'm more family to you than Dina
Yeah,
is.
yeah,
I've known you
yeah.
longer. Like,
That's exactly
think
what
of
it
everything
felt,
what we've been through. And it's the only time there's really personal conflict between Ellie and Tommy.
That's one of my favorite Dina moments.
Yeah.
Because it felt so real.
I was so mad.
Yeah. Just like flying out the screen door and being like, listen, motherfucker, get off of our property. I love it.
So this was one of the first things we shot for this game.
Yep.
There's so many characters here. We had to shoot this in multiple batches and then stitch it all together.
I did several days just dancing.
Yes.
Yeah, remember we brought a dance choreographer that spent some time with you, Shannon.
Yeah.
This was the demo, and so we had to. This was tricky because we're introducing to the world a lot of new characters with a lot of interesting dynamics, and trying to do that through exposition, but as thin an exposition as possible because, dear God, nobody likes exposition. It was hard.
Il t'a dit quoi?
This scene has jumped around all over as we're playing with the structure. It used to be in the very beginning, and then we felt we just had too many cutscenes in the beginning. We need to get to the action a little bit faster, and then we moved it to the end. We changed the writing for the beginning.
Elle a l'air de bien s'amuser.
But there's something kind of nice,
Je parie que dans 2 semaines.
and I guess there's a tragedy to it of coming here at the end as a memory
Elle t'a
of just seeing just Jesse's alive and Ellie and Dina are okay and no one's and there's Joel.
Salut. T'es un ami du temps. Mais je suis là.
And this like really innocent first kiss.
Vous couchez pas trop tard, hein, parce que demain, on se lève tôt.
À vos ordres. T'es pas sympa. Arrête.
This was
Commence
the
pas
first
avec
scene
ça.
we shot. This was the first scene we shot after
J'ai une question
you
très
hired me.
importante à te
Yeah.
poser. Est-ce que je sens mauvais? On dirait
I look at
que-
this and I'm just overwhelmed with all the details of the shirt, of sweat stains, of little hairs on the neck, little dimples on the smile, and just this is hundreds of people of work
Yep.
for months to get this little moment. Sweat and trying to capture.
The hair that I put behind her ear is crazy.
Yeah. And that has to switch from being physics hair to being hand animated hair
It's
as soon as
crazy.
you make contact with it.
And even just the kissing, like, I mean, it's just, it looks so realistic.
Yeah, and
it
it's actually a
does.
combination of several performances all stitched together right here. And then the lighting has to change from shot to shot. It's interesting highlighting the bracelet that's back on Dina's hand. It's a nice, yeah, it's a
just
nice
love it.
reflective moment of like how innocent things were for all these characters.
Yeah.
I love just the little surprise on Ellie's face, the little like moment of shock before melting into it.
And then we're about to get into Seth. And again, Shannon, your rage is so real here.
Hé! Il y a des familles ici.
Fuck are you looking at?
This whole interaction was based on one time I was at Blockbuster and I'm just talking to my friend. I'm throwing curse words around, and the dad in front of me had his 2 kids, and he's like, "Do you mind? There's kids around." And that always stuck with me. I felt such shame having like used curse words in front of these kids.
Qu'est-ce que tu viens de dire? Ellie, arrête.
Fous le camp d'ici.
Je t'interdis de me toucher.
Hé! Ça suffit. Allez, viens, on va faire un tour.
Et eux alors?
T'en occupe pas.
I feel so bad for Joel here.
Ugh, me too.
C'est quoi ton problème?
She doesn't want to be under his shadow anymore.
No.
But he can't help himself.
Besoin de ton aide.
He's just trying to. He's
someone
trying to dad.
someone is hurting her, and he's going to stand up for her.
Oh, Papa Bear. Yeah, you know you were an asshole.
Yeah.
Yeah. Saddest scene.
Yeah, with the first game, right, we're talking about how do you take this obsession of love, of a parent's love for a child, to the end of the line, and then this has the reverse of it, of like how do you take hate to the end of the line, which is also like another expression of love. And the engineering of it was that here she has this family that loves her, and it's not good enough because she's letting down Joel in her mind.
I love the different energies that you both bring to this scene where Dina is giving it her everything in this fight, and Ellie just has to shut down.
This scene, my God. I was so hard to leave you because you were so upset and so broken and so sad. And I was like, I should, my must stay. I'm sorry.
I would argue this is maybe Ellie's darkest moment, even though I know where we're going, because this is the choice where she forsakes.
This is where she makes the choice.
Yeah. And I think she knows there's a very good chance she's going to die on this journey.
I guess the thing that we don't talk about is like, I think she's suicidal.
Yeah, I
think
agree.
there's the guilt of what
The
should have
pain is
happened
too
at the
loud.
hospital.
That's why she
Yeah.
leaves in the middle of the night. She's not saying goodbye because it's clearly suicide.
Yeah. When the pain gets too loud, she's not there anymore. She's incredibly vulnerable, but she's completely disassociated, and there is this absolute rejection of everything that is right.
At that point, like, you know, you're not talking to the person that you're in the relationship with. You're talking to the grief. And so it's like the convincing comes into like, are you even in there anymore? Like, can I just find you for 1 second? And she's just fully gone.
Both characters have very clear goals, and then there's an obstacle, and then they keep ratcheting out. Like Dina just ups the ante over and over and over until the last bit is ultimatum.
Even the grabbing of the face.
And then
like
she pulls
it's-
her hands down.
Ugh.
And that's it, she knows. Philosophically, with this game, what we wanted to do was allow our characters to make immoral choices that the audience would not be on board with. Up until now, like, we shed some of the audience of, like, you know, the Nora torture. Some people have issues with that, or certain other kind of violent moments. But here we lose almost everybody. And it is by design in that way of, like, you're now, like, playing this thing that you are not on board with at all. You have to keep going. And in a way that does align you with Ellie.